The past several years for the Marvel Cinematic Universe, with very few exceptions, has felt like an absolute disaster. Massive streaming failures, box office flops everywhere, and now it's resulted in them completely changing all their plans. Remember 4 or 5 years ago when Kevin Feige laid out the entire plan for phases 4, 5, and 6 of the MCU, and they said, we're gonna double down on diversity and representation? Well, it turns out a lot of those plans didn't work out too well for them. In fact, a lot of those plans ended up with massive losses, and it has resulted in Marvel completely changing direction and saying we need to get back to basics, bringing back the Russo brothers, bringing back Robert Downey Jr., and trying to get back to entertaining people because the DEI experiment was a failure in the MCU. But until we start seeing some of those projects actually put into development, despite the reports of them getting rid of a lot of the people who are just focused on activism, there's still a few shows that were in development when all this was happening and are still coming out, including something like Agatha All Along, a show that absolutely no one was asking for, and a show that sounds like one of the main focuses was identity politics. And we're now getting the first reactions after the premiere last night. Catherine Hahn's Marvel return hailed as bewitching, deliciously devious, and bats crazy in all the right kinds of ways. But really, one of the reasons the critics are loving this so much is because of headlines like this. Agatha All Along first reviews praise Marvel's gayest project to date. And this is not a surprise. It shouldn't come as a surprise if you've been listening to some of the things the actors and the people involved with this show have said. I covered it several weeks ago when one of the actors, Joe Locke, not only insulted and mocked Marvel fans, but also just pushed how gay this show is. And they were bragging about it being the gayest Marvel project to date and how proud they were to have this show out there. Well, now you're getting those same answers from people on the red carpet at the premiere for Agatha All Along, and it's exactly what you would expect. This is Joe Locke, who is featured in so many of these articles in the lead-up. He gets asked this question.
So, the show has been described to me as the gayest Marvel project to date. Do you agree?
Man, I can't believe why you'd be invested in that, huh? Who would have thought?
I would say so, yeah. It's got many layers, and definitely gay is one of them.
Is it? I mean, for someone like you started off in the business, you were in a gay show. Now you're in another gay show. It's like not new for you.
No, I think that's also one of the great things about the show is like, Heartstopper is very like, the queerness is the plot of the show, whereas this is like teens queer, this view the queer characters in the show, but it's not like the driving force of the plot, which is I think really great. It's really like really nice just having these positive queer characters in the show. It's great.
Yeah, it's not necessarily the driving part of the plot. It's just literally everywhere. Everyone in the show is to some level gay as fuck, according to what these people have said in the lead-up. Man, it really reminds me of something, doesn't it? It's hard to not think about the recent Disney failure, The Acolyte. They were very happy to discuss how it was the gayest Star Wars ever, and despite so many people in the cast and crew constantly talking about that, after they got so much bad press, they really tried to push back on that a little bit, including Leslie Headland. Amanda Stenberg didn't want to push back at all. She wanted to embrace the moniker as the gayest Star Wars ever. But don't worry, it wasn't just Joe Locke, it was more people, including Sashir Zamata, who apparently came out as a late-in-life lesbian, just figured that out late in life. I don't know how that works, but here's her talking about this.
It's been described to me that Agatha is the gayest project Marvel has ever done. Agree?
I would agree with that, yeah.
Why is it?
You'll see. You'll see when you watch it. But, I think witches are queer inherently just because we are outcast and, set aside for many reasons. And I think this show shows a really good representation of different types of people and that we can all use the power we have within to, go forth and be great.
Witches are queer inherently, and this is something that she has said multiple times during this press tour. Again, I know the big headlines are today. This was a video I made probably a week and a half or 2 weeks ago because of some of the interviews that these people were putting out there. And Aubrey Plaza as well, and I do like a lot of things Aubrey Plaza's in. She kind of confirms, yes, I hope it's the gayest Marvel project ever. That's what I signed up for.
I'm told, I've seen the first episode, but Agatha is the gayest Marvel project yet. Do you agree?
It better be, because that's what I signed up for. I think it is.
I think it is. Probably, certainly is. And like we said, despite some of the indications that Marvel wants to be done with some of this shit and move away, there's a lot of stuff still in the pipeline that is yet to come out. Agatha is one of those things. Now, of course, what did all the press releases say? The Hollywood Reporter, people like that? Oh, well, you know, Marvel's really confident that they have a banger with Agatha. They feel so good about it. When you talk to people who might have some information, but they don't want it actually being out there publicly from Marvel, they say, yeah, they're really fucking worried about this thing. They know it's going to be a woke pile of shit. And this is what happens when you decide to invest everything in woke ideology and agenda, when you double, triple, quadruple down on DEI. And they're so far into this, even though it seems like they want to and intend to turn things around and just focus on entertainment, you're still left with so many projects like this that people are not going to care about, and in all likelihood is going to be one of the lowest viewed projects in the history of the MCU on Disney+. What do you guys think about this? Going the Acolyte route, the gayest Marvel show ever. I'm sure a lot of people are waiting for the fallout from this nuclear bomb. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.